Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Unapologetic Voices. My name is Thomas Tripp. Join with me as my co-host,
Kyle-Elio Torres.
Yeah, welcome. This is our very first, technically speaking, video podcast. We have tried this before. There's going to be a behind the scenes and perhaps a future release date for the first one.
Yeah, the first one had really good stories, and I'm very upset about the audio being really messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I almost said the F word, but I had to cut it back real quick.
Yeah?
Yeah, but...
Are we at 15 seconds?
No, I don't even know. But, that one, we're planning on releasing this one first before we release that one, but that one's stories are so good.
They're solid.
They're like... What did we cover? We covered my mom breaking into Cuba. We covered your mom. Yeah, we covered sleepwalking and your mom abandoning you or some shit.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Fuck, what else did I say?
I don't remember.
Oh, well.
It's been over 15 seconds at this point.
Yeah, no, we're good.
Fuck you, bitch.
Yeah. But just so it be known, that one's going to be a really good episode. It'll just have some audio problems. So every once in a while, like, I kid you not, I think when you were saying, hey, I have a story, Kyle. And I was like, oh, what's up? He's like, back when I was young, I used to... And that was crazy.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and then I'm like, I wonder... Like, when I was listening to it, I was like, I wonder what he said. And then, like, as you're telling the story, later on, you're like, yeah, and I was sleepwalking. I was like, so he said sleepwalking there.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So that sucks that it cuts out, like, specific words.
It just randomly... And it happened to you a lot for some reason. Like, it would pick up on my voice. Mm-hmm. So I think what was happening was the application that I had thought you were background noise and thought I was the main volume.
That's racist.
Sure.
Yeah.
But it kept picking up on me, and then it would cut you out. Mm. And then randomly, when you would talk and I would say something, it would cut me out too. Just randomly.
Yeah. Not to mention it catches your breathing all the time.
Oh, yeah. Without
and it's like... You get used to it, though.
Yeah.
From what I hear from our listeners and their comments, get in the comments, they don't, like, it's something they get used to within a matter of seconds.
Yeah.
Because it's just a constant in the video of, like...
Just so it be known, I have been made fun of for this.
Why are you leaning so close to the camera?
I had to lean in.
Look at the light on your forehead.
Ooh.
Sleek.
But, yeah, no. Some of the, I don't want to call them fans, but listeners, right?
Yeah, listeners.
Some of the listeners...
They don't like us.
Yeah.
We hold them at gunpoint.
Yeah, we're holding them at gunpoint.
Yeah.
Some of the listeners have let me know that they hate my breathing.
Yeah.
They were like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
I mean, you sound like a constipated Darth Vader.
Yeah, like, do you just not know how to breathe? Just so it be known, I was born with only one lung. So if I don't pay attention to my breathing, I breathe extremely hard and heavy, just on autopilot. And sometimes it sounds like I'm angry too, because like I'll just be breathing and I'll be doing work or I'll be doing something.
Yeah.
I'll be playing games and like I remember like I was playing a video game that had an open mic.
Okay.
I think it was Lethal Company and I was playing with strangers.
Sure, yeah.
And they were just like, dude, is there a problem?
Yeah, what's wrong with you?
Why are you breathing so heavy? And I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm not breathing heavy. I'm breathing normal.
You should have told them you were on a machine.
Yeah, I was like, I'm dying.
I'm dying.
But yeah. So, you know, all that's a side note. We'll chalk that up as whatever. Mm-hmm. But there's a couple stories that I specifically wanted to tell this time around. I know Thomas has some stories. This time around for the podcast / video, it is going to be tailored to what pisses us off.
What a great topic.
Yes.
I'm so filled with fucking rage.
As Peter Griffin says, what really grinds my gears.
Do the voice.
Huh? I don't know how to do Peter's voice.
No, you talk back here.
And Lois.
Nope.
No, I can't do it. But yeah. Do you want to start?
I don't know.
Would you rather me start?
I'll start.
I've been waiting to like say some shit towards you.
Okay. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
For about a week, Kyle's been threatening me that he's going to say some shit on the podcast, and I'm really excited to hear what it is. On the surface, I'm a very cute cuddly, hello everyone, I want a hug and nice to meet you boy. On the inside, I will murder you and slaughter your whole family. Let that be known. That's a side note. See, I got that from you. Yeah. So, I'll start with a little something, because I like to kick it off hard, and this is going to be a topic that people will at first find to be rude and disrespectful, and then they'll be like, honestly, he's right.
Okay.
You get me?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm trying to diverse and separate our fan group right now.
Gotcha.
I want there to be two warring sides, okay? Like, I don't
know if the bird's being loud, but I'm going to take the box away.
The bird had a box. It has been taken away. So I made a joke before we started actually rolling on the podcast, which is gays make me angry.
Yep.
I'm going to continue on that.
Okay.
By starting off with, I am...
Oh, wait. No, go ahead.
I am a gay, so to speak. And so I have every right, not that I couldn't say whatever the fuck I wanted because I'm in America, bitch. Anyways, I have been around too many people that make me so fucking angry. And I'm going to give you an example of what I'm talking about, because I thought about this the other day, and it's just something that, like, when I think of something that bothers me or whatever, I hold it in and I think about it a lot. And I use it almost as like a, not therapy, but like a learning exercise for what I want to do in the future. Like speaking up for myself, or like speaking up for others and shit. Mm-hmm. So I was in Ann Arbor, Michigan, long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away. Not really, but it was like, I'd say a year ago. And there were some film festival things going on that I was at, and there just so happened to be an award-winning short film playing that was about some sort of like, I don't want to go too specific into details so we can be sued, but like, it was a award-winning film festival short from...
saying they're not going to find us.
Asia. Yeah, they won't find us. From Asia, okay. Made by an American film student. Gotcha. From, he was filming in his home country. Mm-hmm. And it was kind of about like a person trying to express to his community that he's gay. And like he basically broke all the social norms, and it was very like, it was very fabulous and comedic, if that makes sense. It wasn't
I like
dramatic.
that you used the word fabulous.
Yeah, it was fabulous.
So whatever the movie or video it was, it had style.
It did.
Okay, I like that.
This is why it pissed me off, and you're gonna agree with me in a second.
Okay.
Is I was watching that film in a room full of people, about 100 people. Okay. Yeah. And it was kind of, we were watching. That's a big crowd. Yes. Great crowd. We were watching about 10 films that won awards, and some of the people who made it were there. So it was kind of just like a watching ceremony, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But it was, it was technically kind of like a private party, because it was all like the film heads of U of M, Michigan. Right. So, that being said, this was the only film that played anything that had a agenda behind it, The rest of them were dramatic and whatever, stupid? Horror, different topics. But this one was more about, being yourself and being true to your gayness, right? Which is great, whatever. This is where I get angry. This was fabulous. Like, it was amazing film. It was about 12 minutes long, maybe a little shorter, and it was solid. The picture was amazing, the footage was amazing. The editing was amazing. The music was amazing. The audio was amazing. Nothing missed. Costumes were amazing, because it was like set in like a not dirty, but like a third world country style of Asia, like a village, right?
Okay, so they went to Cuba.
And the person who was coming out was, like everything was turning rainbow colored. Just as an example. That's not what happened, but
right.
The editing looked amazing. I could not enjoy this movie, the short film, because in the back of the room, there were about 12 people of the gay community literally fucking screaming, whooping, and snapping their goddamn fingers. Like it was a goddamn poetry smash, okay?
Oh, like they just weren't being quiet?
The entire time they weren't being quiet. In a movie theater, I think... Oh, fuck. You've never been to a theater with me where I got angry at somebody and I'll stand up and be like, hey... you need to be quiet.
No,
have you? Have we?
So, that one time that we all went out, it was for work. We all got invited to go to the movies, and then we went to a bar right afterwards.
Yeah.
And we you didn't go to the bar, but
no, but I went to the movie.
But you went to the movie.
Yeah.
And it was our coworkers who would not shut the fuck up during the whole movie.
Did I say something?
I remember you saying, if I didn't know who the fuck these people were, I would have cussed them out by now.
Oh, yeah. Well, they were being really obnoxious.
And I just remember them being super loud, laughing loud, and like...
talking.
I don't remember us watching a comedy. They were just laughing.
No, we were watching a horror movie. We were watching Evil Dead Rises, I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
Which, by the way, great movie.
It was fucking hilarious.
It was funny.
There was just... So,
it was kind of funny.
Dude, when I watched that little kid get fucking hammered across the fucking room, like...
Awesome.
That shit...
And the cheese grater and the whole crowd kind of went like, oh, and like, you know, they did the cheese grater thing. Low key, great movie, and it was funny.
Yeah.
I feel like Evil Dead is supposed to be horror funny.
Yeah, it had a lot of like comedic parts to it, and it was fucking... I'd watch it again. But
our friends were obnoxious.
Our co-workers were just in the background talking the whole time.
Yeah.
They were drinking heavily.
And I think they were hitting their pens.
Yeah, and they were also getting a little high, blah, blah, blah. They were like sitting a few chairs behind us, and I just remember Thomas just being like...
Fuming.
Dude, I got my gun on me right now.
I'm upset.
I remember him pausing one time, looking back, and was like, I'll fucking kill you all. And then turning
I did say that! I did! Yeah, I was getting pissed.
They didn't understand you, so they just kept laughing. They're like, oh well, it's just Thomas.
I literally like whisper yelled. I was like, I will fucking kill you. Shut up.
And then after that, Thomas just stopped talking the whole movie.
There's nothing I could do.
And I was just sitting there like, I'm having a great time.
I also didn't want to like ruin friendships because I like those people. You know what I mean?
Those people are really cool.
Yeah.
They just have a hard time shutting the fuck up.
Yeah, and I learned from that point, do not go to the movies with these people.
Right.
That's all. That's
so. I'll also say this: I like talking during movies, but I don't talk.
Careful.
Randomly about the movies, right? Like I won't just be like sitting there talking to you about some bullshit.
I will say you do not do that.
And then
that's true.
Like, and then just like laugh about the bullshit while the movie's going. I don't do that. I'll be sitting there during the movie, and I'll get caught up in the movie, and like I'll start to get hyped about it, and I'll be like,
yeah, you'll comment on the movie,
or like something will happen. So, dude, there's so many fucking movies where I get so pissed.
We're side noting.
About like, we're side noting. But it's still something like, you know, you get angry about it.
Which I wanted. I wanted you to relate.
So, the issue with that part is sometimes in movies, shit will just happen and I'm like, that's not realistic. And I know I'm watching...
Yeah, you make a little comment.
I know I'm watching a movie that's not supposed to be realistic, but... Still, it doesn't make sense. So, I'm going to give a...
I mean, Dune Part 2 is a good example.
Oh, yeah.
We were watching it. And you're like...
Yeah. So, in Dune, I don't want to talk about Dune again.
Right.
Just so you guys know.
Yeah.
But I want you to know that there was a part where a character was standing right on this side, and then they like, took 2 steps, and they were about a mountain away. And I'm like, how did they get that far? And they were like, and he was like, no, they jumped scenes. I was like, no, they didn't. They're still at the same conversation that they were having just a second ago. It was, hey, where'd you get the water? I want water. And then they like move the camera and then boom, they're a mile away. Yeah, that water was great. Thanks for letting me have a sip right now.
I don't remember this at all.
That part didn't happen. I'm making that part up.
I see.
But I'm just saying, like, that's like what happened, you know?
Okay.
It's like, fuck, I'm trying to think of another good one. Oh, fuck, what's the name of that movie? I don't know,
man.
What is his name?
Tom Holland. Characters.
Tom Holland was
Spider-Man.
in it. Not Spider-Man. They made him do another video game franchise. Far Cry?
No. I got it. Uncharted.
Uncharted.
Yeah.
Yes, Uncharted.
Pretty good.
It was good.
Yeah.
But I want you to know, if you guys haven't seen it, I don't give a fuck.
Skip ahead 30 seconds.
The ending where the big bads and the good guys, well, they're the main characters are bad, just so that you understand. No one was good. Mm-hmm. It was just a bunch of different companies trying to steal fucking gold.
You're railing. Go.
Yeah, whatever. There is a part where the bad guys don't have enough information to know where the gold is. Right? Mm-hmm. So they decide to follow the main character.
Right. And
the main character gives them a map telling them to go the opposite way.
Okay.
right?
Sure.
By no means should they ever meet again.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
They should never meet.
And then he goes into the tomb.
And then he goes, gets on a boat, travels the opposite way, and somehow the evil villain for this movie notices him going the other way. And I'm like, why the fuck would they notice?
I feel like I kind of remember
How
that.
did they know he was even on that boat at that point? Like, they were in like a fucking plane or something going the opposite way.
Yeah, I kind of remember.
And I'm like, they're leaving. In their head, they should be, oh, this guy's doing whatever. They don't have him on a fucking tracker or nothing like that. No, they caught his ass. They stole his shit. They're going to get the gold, right? He goes the opposite way. He finds the fucking gold. He starts to take it. And then all of a sudden, the baddies are on top of him, beating the shit out of him.
Yeah, I kind of remember.
And I'm like, where the fuck did they come from? Like, that doesn't make any sense. I'm sure if I rewatch the movie, I'll change my opinion because then, oh, maybe they had a good reason why they saw him. But they should not have been there. Because that makes no sense. But I also hate when those scenes happen where, so I'll go back to Dune really quick.
When Kyle likes to get on a topic and just roll, I kind of just like sit there and absorb it because it's hard to stop him once he's on it. Because once you stop him, he'll start to shake.
He'll forget what I'm trying to talk about.
But then he'll start to shake and be like, I gotta get it out.
So like, I'll go back to Dune or whatever, right? There was that part where they were being attacked, and there was
part 1 or part 2.
I think it was a part 2.
Okay,
it had to be part 2 because it was when the mom and him were in that desert hiding under a rock.
Oh, the first scene.
Yes, the very start.
Oh, you didn't like the part where Jessica like got up to the back of the mountain fast as fuck and killed that guy.
Yes,
killed the Harkonnen.
Like, it made no sense for her to be right here.
She had time,
and then. Okay, so just so it be known,
and
there was this big guy with a fucking gun on top of a hill.
Yeah.
This lady was on the bottom of the hill, and so was her son, and I guess her son was fighting 2 other guys, and he was about to get killed by the guy on top of the hill.
Okay.
This bitch took 2 steps and was like, right on this guy's throat. And I'm like, how did she get up there and then get right back down behind the rock? How did she have enough time to do all of that?
I feel like these scenes all kind of just blend in your mind and you forget what happens.
No, because that's what happened. She booked it up there.
No, we don't see Jessica as Paul is running towards the other guy. That's like a 10-second fight. She can get around.
Okay.
She's covering his flank.
I want you to understand that Harkonnen had perfect shot to kill him.
He did.
I can take this shot right now.
Yeah.
Instead, he watches the guy run to the other 2, kill his friends. I'm not going to take this shot.
Well, he just
and then he gets killed.
Nah, he walked over the hill. He saw the end of the fight.
And then that time where they were like firing the rocket launcher or whatever, right?
Yeah.
He was trained by world-class fighters, right? But I watched 2 Harkonnen fight him at the same time.
That part I do.
One of them laid on the floor and he's like, no, don't stab me. While the other Harkonnen stood there was like, yeah, my friend's about to die.
And he went straight for the one with
I'm going to go for the one who has a rocket launcher instead of helping my friend killing this fucker. There was a lot of parts that just did not make any sense.
I will agree with you that strategically, tactically, that doesn't make sense. But I will back up the Dune franchise by saying, number 1, the Harkonnens don't care about each other. Number 2, he saw the bigger threat, which is Chani with a rocket launcher trying to kill the ornithopter.
You know, I can understand that.
Yeah, but I understand.
But these are supposed to be trained fucking soldiers who understand the threat is in front of them. They need to kill what's there to get to there.
Okay.
I know they had to have understood that.
Tactically, you are correct.
Because they are trained soldiers. They should know this information. And then that one soldier that was... fuck Dune, I'm done talking about... Continue your story, whatever you're talking about.
So, in the back of the room in Ann Arbor... Right off the bat, I'm ready.
Yeah.
So right in the back of the room, they're whooping and they're snapping their fingers.
Yeah.
And it's obnoxious because I'm telling you, I swear to God, it's from the first minute of the short film. Because the short film starts off with, it's very quick. It's very like, hey, this person's not socially accepted. This person wants to go to a drag show. They're gay, and their parent, I think, who's in the film, doesn't appreciate them. And then there's a magical being that is in the head of this person who's trying to come out.
Fairy Wish Prince?
Yes, and the reason why I'm making it so vague is because the short film is literally called something like fairy.
Okay.
Yeah. So, it's like it's a fairy, right? No pun intended. It's a fairy, right? So,
sure. It's implied.
When the fairy comes out, it's a very cool scene because first of all, it looks magical. The makeup is amazing on this person, and the effects are really cool. And the music starts playing, like badass hip hop music, right?
Gotcha.
The gays in the back, man, they just start going off, and I'm like, a couple is fine. You're being represented on film. I like it. You know what I mean? This is right after. So actually, it was like 2 years ago.
It's in your ballpark.
It's in your ballpark, and honestly, I can take a couple claps. And yes, I was pleased.
Like your ballpark.
I was pleased. I wear a dress sometimes, right?
Yeah, sure.
So I got more photos back from my horse photo shoot.
That's cool. This is a side note.
Oh boy, here we go.
I don't want to like.
I'll never finish the story.
I'm not gonna jump into a whole nother tirade. But
Okay.
I will say I did go to a
drag show.
A drag show.
Yeah, how'd it go?
And it was fucking amazing.
Some of them are really great.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know how, but some random person messaged me on Snapchat who was there. Right?
Did you post on a Snap story? Like the world story, you know what I mean?
During that time I wasn't posting openly.
Okay.
So I don't know how the fuck they like messaged me.
Yeah.
Because it was kind of weird.
Yeah.
But they like messaged me and they were like, hey, I'll suck your dick. And I was
amazing.
And I was just like, what the fuck? And they're like, yeah, I saw, they like messaged me. They're like, I saw your post. I saw what you look like. And I was like, oh, but I don't know how they saw it.
Yeah.
Like, who the fuck are these people?
How did you add me too?
Yeah. And like, well, they direct messaged me or something. And I was just like, oh, okay. And then I was like, I appreciate it. Thank you.
I have a fiance.
But I'm here with my fiance. She wanted to come to this. And, from what the person sent me, it looked like a woman, but I think it was a dude.
Right.
And I, hey, power to you, man.
That's the best of both worlds.
He looked great.
Hey, I love it.
But that's a side note.
That's a side note.
Yeah,
the main booklet here is that throughout the entire film, whenever anything happened, so at the start, I'm cool with it. If you Snapple it up, you go, woo, you know what I mean? That's fine.
You get out your woos at the very start.
Right.
Because, like, people do that shit for Star Wars and stuff.
Exactly.
They see those.
I do that.
They see those credits. Yeah!
Exactly. When there's nothing happening and everybody can read the text.
MJR.
There you go. Stop getting a sponsor from MJR.
I want MJR to sponsor me.
Me too. So, the crowd of
the manager knows me now. Sorry, that's a side note.
All three of them or just one?
So the last time I went, it was the black guy was in charge.
Yeah, that guy.
I don't remember his name, sad to say, but either way, I wouldn't tell you guys his name because then I wouldn't want you to find him.
James.
Was it James?
It was something with a J or a D.
Whatever. I don't fucking care.
I'm autistically going through my head right now. I just talking right to him, and I'm looking at his name tag.
Well, he was there, and he like I walked past him, and he stopped me, and he was like, "How are you doing?"
Is your friend dead?
He didn't ask about John.
Ah, damn it.
He stopped me and said, "How are you doing?"
Oh, that's good.
And I was like, "Oh, I'm doing really good. Thank you for remembering me."
Well, I like
that's all I said to him, and I walked away.
We're gonna get him on the podcast. The crowd at this Ann Arbor place is all film heads, mostly. I'm sure it's some friends of people that came or whatever. Yes. But I would tell you that 90% of the 100 and whatever people there were all film heads. So people whooping and cheering, especially if you maybe even know the person that's making the film is there or whatever. That's fine. That's fair. But dude, anything that happened that was in the film, any moment in the I'm going to tell you, it was every 7 seconds.
So because
it's like a short
12-second thing, so shit had to have been happening fast.
Literally fast, because it's a short film, so you absorb all the information quick to get the story, right?
Yes.
For 10 to 12 minutes, I had to listen to this group in the back snapping consistent, like 10 of them snapping their fingers consistently and like shouting. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I'm trying to watch the film. I'm trying to enjoy it. And I'm like, I was at a point where I'm in Ann Arbor. If I get up right now and be that guy, I was, by the way, sitting in the front. I was sitting in the very front. So if I got up, everyone would see me.
You were sitting all the way in the front, getting bothered by the people all the way in the back.
I shit you not. This is how the room setup was, by the way. All lawn chairs until the back row was bleachers for some reason. Not big bleachers, like rows of 2, but it was at like an art.
Yeah, I gotcha.
It was at like an art thing. So if I stood up and made a scene, it would have made a scene. Yeah. And I was also there with people who will not be mentioned that are a part of this group as like a career and as like friends.
Oh, like gay people?
No, at film people.
Gotcha.
One of them was gay, but yes, like film people, right?
Gotcha.
So if I was to speak out as someone who I'm involved in that community, but I was invited to that specific event from them, I would have embarrassed them.
Right.
Because I'm very, like, big compared to those people. And I would have been like, hey, keep it down. I'm trying to enjoy it, right?
Right.
Couldn't do it, man. It took every ounce of me to sit there and just like
be quiet,
bottle it up. Yeah, because first of all, I'm outnumbered. I know that 50 to 80% of that crowd would have mobbed me.
Let's say this.
Yeah.
You had said something. They wouldn't have cared if you were gay or not. They would have been like, oh, it's just some white dude trying to say we can't be gay.
Sure. Right. If you want to get, if I don't like to put words in, you know, I don't want to assume what they would do, but I assumed in my head that they would they'd pull out their phones.
They would have tried starting something.
They would have started something.
Yeah.
Right.
Just so it'd be known, just so that, like, we clarify.
Yeah.
This guy, he's bisexual.
No, hold on. Unapologetic Voices, bro.
Oh, did I apologize?
No.
Well, I wasn't going to.
And I'm not going to apologize for what I have to say.
Well, no. Fuck you.
Like, that's not what you're going for?
That's not what I was going for.
Continue, sir.
I was just saying that, you know, you're bisexual, you've dated dudes, you dated girls, blah, blah, blah. Right now, you're technically dating a girl.
I've had some cocks in my ass.
Were you there at the time with your girl?
I was, and I wasn't trying to imply that.
So I'm going to say this. If they had saw you with your girl, and you were like, dude, I'm gay too, they wouldn't have fucking believed you. They would have been like, fuck you, dude, we see your bitch right there.
Yeah, I'm one of those, like, right in the middle people. I'm on the middle of every line.
Yeah.
I'm a centrist, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. It's fun being in the middle of both conflicts. It makes my life real interesting.
Oh, yeah.
When people want to start debates with me, I'm like, I don't give a fuck.
Right.
I do not care.
No, I understand. But I was just, like, trying to connect two and two. Because you never mentioned that she was there.
No, I was trying to keep it out of there.
For what?
I don't know.
just so that you could be like, yeah, I'm just gay. Like, no.
No, I was saying it in terms of hiding identities.
But we weren't saying your girl's name or nothing.
No, but I said what city and what was taking place. Just in case.
Fuck does that matter?
It doesn't.
You could have been in fucking Plymouth for all I know.
That's true. Maybe I was, allegedly.
Oh, okay.
So, just to start off the podcast with that, even though we are 30 minutes in, things like that really make me fucking angry. Okay. And as you get later in life, as one learns and one does, you learn not to hold back. You learn that if you don't stand up for yourself or stand up for others and you kind of just hold everything in your head, at least for me, that's me as a person, it will bother you for the rest of your life. I can let things go pretty easy, but the problem is that I get reminded of them for some reason years later. Years later.
Okay.
You could piss me off about something that you said that you didn't mean or whatever, and I'll be like, it's Kyle, it's my best buddy, I don't give a fuck. Right. And then a year from now, I'll be like, that fucking cunt, I'll beat the shit out of him.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So
that pisses me off. I want to tell you right now.
Okay.
I want to hear what the fuck you've been holding in for like a week right now. So it's bothering me.
So I just want this to be known. I think because I've been bottling this up against you.
Yeah.
And I know once I say it, you're going to be like, why the fuck does that even matter? I know you're going to be like disappointed.
I'm so excited right now.
Right?
Yeah.
Because I've been getting angry at a lot of our workers for the smallest of shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but like in my head, I'm like, oh, this doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
Whatever. Right? And then as I'm walking away, every single time I just start to get
You think about it more.
I get angrier and angrier, and I'm like, why do I care?
I swear to God, I think you got that from me.
Yeah.
I swear to God.
I'm like, why do I care about this anger right now? It wasn't even that big of a deal.
Yeah.
So this is, before I start talking about that, this is kind of a side note. I'm going to explain two of the situations that really fucking pissed me off.
But not where they're at.
But not anything about them.
Got it.
So there is this little old lady who works for our company.
I'm going to say her fucking name.
No. No names.
We're going to call her Agnes.
Agnes, whatever. Yeah. Fine, she could be Agnes.
She's 3 feet tall.
You know, she has that kind of name
and 80 years
already.
old. Yes, exactly.
So, like, she is literally a 3 foot tall, black lady.
Yeah, little
who
old.
is very lovely, very nice.
She seems sweet.
She has like some form of dementia or something. She gets lost. And like if you give her any sort of directions, she has no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
Right.
And I'm like, cool, I'll never tell you to do anything.
Yeah.
It's not me.
Yeah.
I won't do that. So this lady, bless her soul, she walks towards me and she's like maybe I'm trying to think of a good like distance, right?
10 feet, 5 feet.
So like she is
how many couches away?
So if she was out this door in the hallway.
All right.
Right? So I have like a little hallway.
2 couches.
Yeah, about 2 of my couches away.
All right.
Whatever. So this about 2 couches away.
Okay.
She looks at me, says, "Hey," gets my attention. Says it like normal volume. I immediately, "Hey, what's up?" And she like whispers to me. She's like, but she's a mile away. She's like, and I'm like, I don't know what you just said to me. And she comes walking up to me, and she's like right next to me. I'm right next to her, and I bend down to like go to her height, because I want to hear what she says. I put my ear close to her head.
Your one good ear.
It's like right here, right? And I'm like, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you from that far away. Could you please like tell me again what you said? And then she was like, I'm not gonna say exactly what she said, but she was like, "Hey, I just wanted to ask if it was like
just triple
this
volume.
place." She quadrupled her volume,
right in your fucking
screaming into my ear. And then I took a step back, looked at her, and was like, "No." And I walked away, and I didn't want to say anything because I don't just yell at people for nothing, and I know who she is, so I immediately was like, "Sweet old lady, whatever."
Agnes.
Yeah, a sweet Agnes.
Yeah.
Love her.
Bless her heart.
Yes. And so then she walks away. Like, I didn't answer her question, so she walked away, whatever.
And then the dark side.
And then I sit down, and I'm, like, minding my business. I'm still... Because I was going to do my job. I'm waiting to do something specific. And I'm sitting there, and I'm just, like, wondering, pondering. I'm like, why does my ear hurt?
Why is there a ringing noise?
Why is there a loud ringing noise in my ear? Why do I feel so angry right now?
Let the darkness
and
take
I'm like festering it, and I was like, I have a coworker. I'll name her. Her name is Tracy. I love her. She's like this. What is she? She's like 23, 22.
Yeah.
She's like 22.
She's
23.
21, by the way.
She's 21?
Yeah, she just turned 21.
Oh, yeah, she just did.
Yeah.
She had a really, like, interesting outfit that for her birthday. That was really cool. So she's 21. She's this, like, fucking 5-foot black girl. And...
4'9" pushing it.
4'9" pushing it.
She's a little elf. She's so funny.
Dude, we make fun of her because of her size all the time. But she's, like, my go-to, dog. Like... If anything happens at work, I call her.
It helps that you share an office next to her.
If I can't get a hold of Thomas, because the thing is, I tell Thomas everything. It doesn't matter what it is. I will call him, let him know about it. But I can't do that anymore because we do a podcast. And I think to myself, hey, I need to save it.
Yeah.
I need to like...
That's literally the worst.
Yeah.
You can't vent anymore.
It sucks because I can't go to him to be like, I need you to hear this. But because I think it's going to be funny, but whatever. So I talk to her, and she laughs at it all the time. Personally, she does not listen to my fucking podcast, and I'm very pissed about it.
Well, now she's mentioned,
because I want her to listen to the podcast, but every time I tell her, why aren't you listening to the podcast? She's like, bitch, I already hear all your stories.
Really funny.
And I'm like, yes, I know. And then she's like, I already see you. You're a fucking cartoon character. You're doing a little dance where you tell me this story. Yeah, and she has a country accent.
She does. It's not like a ghetto accent. It's a country accent. And
she doesn't think she does. Isn't
hilarious.
Right? And the ghettoer she gets, the more country she gets.
Amazing.
And I push her buttons all the time just to hear her country voice because it's funny.
It's hilarious.
But yeah, I called her and I was like, what's that one girl's, what's the old lady's name that one of our coworkers always says that it's your grandma, but it's not, blah, blah, blah. And like, she immediately said her name because like she knows the bullshit.
Agnes.
Yeah, Agnes. And immediately she's like, what happened? I was like, I think I hate that bitch. And she's like, what are you talking about that sweet old lady for? You leave her alone. I was like, I didn't do anything to her. I'm a good boy. I'm a good boy. I didn't say one thing to her, but I wish I did. I have all this hatred right now. And she's like, what happened? And then I told her that whole little story. But there was another one that I've also hated. I met this kid. It's a young guy. The entire time he was talking to me. So I hate that I am a manager.
Yeah.
Because now that we've hired newer people, they don't treat me like the same that they treat like the others treat me.
Yeah.
So like before I used to be their coworker.
Right.
And they understood that now I'm above them, but we can still talk.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, this is a new guy. He's like, oh man, this guy must be important. Blah, blah, blah. Now, I'm not going to say I'm not important at the job. I do some vital things, but it's not that big of a deal. But the whole time he was like, oh, nice to meet you, sir. How are you, sir?
Yeah, there's
all
a
this
lot
stuff.
of... Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, calm down,
I know
man.
you're talking about, by the way.
Right. And I was like, calm down, man. We're chill. I'm going to explain this position for you. It's really easy. You can play on your phone. You can do whatever the hell you want.
I know exactly what you're talking about now. Yeah.
Right. I'm not going to say his name.
No.
But...
I'll tell you what. I don't even know his name. Go ahead.
I do, because he fucking said it like 5 times. But he at the very end, when I showed him how to do everything, and he was like, wow, I really appreciate you, like, explaining all this to me, sir, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, cool. Young guy, probably, like, just turned 18, if anything.
Right on.
Or he's one of the minors that we have right now.
Sure, because it's summer.
We hired a whole bunch of them for the summer.
Yeah.
But he goes to shake my hand, and it's like this motherfucker never knew how to shake a hand in his fucking life.
Oh god.
And I'm just saying, like, my father taught me how to shake a hand.
Yeah.
I'm like, even if you didn't have a dad, like,
you learn through social norms.
You learn through social norms. So he sticks his hand out for me. So like,
I don't want to do it.
I already did this.
It makes me so angry.
But he stuck his hand out, and as I was going in for it, he like closed his hand right here on my fingers and just shook my hand.
I hate looking at it.
And then he did that, and I like paused, looked at him while he shook my fingers, and I was just like, all right. If you need any help, I'll be in the office. I just walked away. Like
that was the point of...
I cut the conversation.
Yeah.
And that's not a big deal. It wasn't a big deal.
It's not a big deal.
In my mind, I wouldn't give a shit.
It's disappointing, but it's not a big deal.
Right.
But...
I'm like... But as I walked away, I don't know why, I started harboring hatred towards this guy I just met. And I'm like, I just don't like him. Fuck this dude. What is wrong with him?
Absolute.
And keep in mind, I don't know if he had a father to raise him. I don't know if he had a brother to show him how to shake hands. But I'm sure he has shaken hands before.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the way that I learned, you hit this part. The moment you hit is when you close.
For sure.
If you don't hit, you don't close.
No.
Because it's a piece of shit handshake.
Yeah.
And like, you know, I even paused for a second. I was like, should I tell him to redo the handshake?
Right, yeah, you make a joke out of it.
Yeah,
like,
but
one more time.
But I didn't. I was just like, whatever, I'm gonna leave it.
That's where you fucked up.
Yeah, that's where I fucked up. Because I didn't satisfy my urges.
Exactly.
Because I had the mental impulse. But this is the real fucking thing that I've been waiting to say, that I've probably been like, that's the reason why I've been getting angry about everything else. I've been nitpicking at shit. But Thomas is a fucking bastard. Like, he is the most...
I'm excited.
The most special ed person.
You smoothly segued into that, by the way.
Thank you.
I'm very impressed.
Thank you.
All right, go ahead.
But, so, this is the situation. Sometimes...
Oh, no more compliments for me?
No,
I
fuck
thought that was
you.
nice. Okay, go ahead.
I'm really tired of you.
Bastard and special ed. You're tired of me? we only hang out outside of work like once a week.
Every other week, if anything.
Hey, buddy.
But, so... I'm ashamed to even say it out loud, because
I'm concerned now.
It's not that big of a deal.
Okay.
But sometimes...
I am a bastard, by the way.
Sometimes... Technically, I am too, right? Because my parents weren't married.
Hold on. Sidetracking.
Okay, yeah.
Get on point.
okay. But sometimes Thomas will call me, right?
Okay.
And he will randomly call me any time of the day, doesn't matter when, and he'll answer, and he'll be like, "Hey, man," and then I'll be like, "Yeah," and he'd be like, and I'm like, "Why isn't he saying anything?
What are you talking about?
What is he thinking right now?" Because sometimes Thomas does this thing in his head where he thinks he's saying shit to me, and he won't say anything.
What is going on right now?
You did this to me like 3 times in a row, and I'm like, okay, whatever. So he didn't say anything, and I was like, "Hey, do you like need something, or like what's going on?" And he'll be like, "What are you talking about?" And I'll be like, "Listen, motherfucker, you called me. I didn't call you. You called me." And then he'd be like, "Relax, man. I was just trying to find out this specific information." And then I'm like, "Then why didn't you say anything? Why do you take a whole minute to tell me what you want?" Because normally how we talk to each other, this is literally our phone calls. "Hey, babe, what's up? Oh, I just wanted to know about this. Oh, you don't know anything about it?" And he hangs up on me. That's what he does. And I'm like, okay, cool.
I want to defend myself that you started that trend.
Now,
when I first joined the friend group, that's the first impression you gave me. You and Johnny both did that to me.
So that is something I specifically do, that I specifically gave him.
Right. You gave me the gift.
He talks for a second. He gets the information he wants. He hangs up. We don't need to say anything else. There's no such thing as a goodbye.
No, we'll see each other again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're walking up, we're
like
talking.
That. Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that, right?
Can't believe you're tired of me.
But this motherfucker will call me and pretend that I called him. And I will wait for him to reply to me, and he never replies. And I know you know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Okay. This was exciting for you to hold in.
Yes.
You've been holding this in for longer than a week then. You've been holding this in for months.
It's happened a lot.
Yeah.
But it doesn't bother me because I'm so used to you doing it.
Sure. But sometimes it bothers you.
But
I hear your voice.
The last time you did it, I don't know why, it clicked in my head.
It was this week.
Yes.
It was like Tuesday.
It was literally just Tuesday. But it's because you called me for a stupid ass reason.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even like an important thing or anything. You just wanted to fucking say hi or some stupid shit.
No, I was wondering where you were because somebody specifically wanted you to do something. And I try to keep it very vague when I'm around that person so you can do what you need to do for the day and not be bothered.
Gotcha.
I low-key have your back in those situations.
Right. I understand.
Okay. I want to make that clear.
Right.
Uh-huh.
But on my end, it literally just looks like, "Hey man, how are you? What do you want?" Nothing.
All right.
Just wanted to hear your voice.
And then I hang up the phone.
It's like, fuck you. And I hang up. Like, I do that.
And I know it's at times when you usually have like an AirPod in and you're listening to something, you're concentrating on work.
Right.
I know it's when you're mentally checked out in the moment.
Right.
From anything else in the world.
People will talk to me and I won't even know what the fuck they're I only ever have one headphone in my ear because I always want to listen to people and like interact with them, right? But I will just like
it's like having two in.
I'll put a podcast on, I'll put a YouTube video on, and the moment I hit play, I will not hear a single thing anybody is saying.
Zoned out, baby.
Because I'm not even paying attention to what I'm listening to. I'm just doing my work on the computer.
You're focused.
And I'm like, whatever, let me just get started.
I call.
And then I'll get a phone call, it'll cut me off, and then I hear stupid shit.
It's either Courtney or me.
Yeah.
Either one.
All the time.
So I want to tell you something before you go into your next rant.
Okay.
And you're not gonna like it, but you're gonna like it a little bit.
Okay. Well, that was pretty much the whole story.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, no, you have more things to talk about that you hate.
Yeah.
That bother you. And I might have a couple more to throw in after that. But I just want to clarify to you something. I learned a long time ago that bothers you, and I purposely do that. This entire time, I purposely call you and go, like, I actually do have something to say to you, and I go, "Hey, what's up?" There are some times where I do have your back in front of that person, so you can tell me if you are busy and something's going on, and then I won't bother you. Like, I just hang up Because if I say, what's up...
But every time you call me, I always say I'm doing nothing. Because, like, I say nothing every time.
Yeah, but I know the tone of your voice.
That's because I always say nothing.
I know the tone of your voice. I know if you're in a room or not.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Sure.
Like, I know if you're at your desk or if you're out.
Because I'll say this. Whenever our new boss calls me...
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He always says, hey, are you busy right now? Right. And I don't ever tell him what I'm doing. Yeah. I just say, what do you need? And then Which is good. And then he says, I need you to go do this, this, or that. Okay. And I just go do it because I don't care. For sure. Right? I think it's a good quality to have. Yeah. But it is. I also kind of don't want him to know what I'm doing at all. No, that makes sense. Because he doesn't need to know. He may be my boss, but at least I'm doing my work. Yes. Right? And you don't want him to know if it's work that can be paused or not. Right. Because then he'll call me all the time. Exactly. Yeah. I get exactly what you're saying. But I just want to tell you that every other time, I do that on purpose. Okay. Just to piss you off. Gotcha. I do literally call you at random times just to go, hey man, what are you talking about? No, I fucking didn't. And then I have the phone. I purposely put it on you just to piss you off. Just so I can be like, what the fuck was he even talking about? And then, like, sometimes you'll also text me, like, the thing with that photo that I sent you in the morning. And then you tried explaining yourself about the argument we had a few minutes ago. Yeah. I was like, dude, that conversation was over. What are you talking about? I'm talking about the picture. And then I got bothered a little bit. I was like, no, you bitch. Yeah. Because, so like, he'll... So we do this a lot where, like, we'll have a conversation and then it'll cut off, right? And then later on, we'll be talking about some other shit and then we'll just go right back into that conversation. It's just like the podcast. And we don't stop. Like, it just happens. Right? But we both mentally usually sync at those moments. But most of the time, whenever he's doing that, I'm like, dude, I'm already past that shit. What the fuck? We argued for like an hour. What does it matter? Yeah. But he'll be like, I didn't get that last word out. I need to get it. I just need to finalize something. Dude, I gotta finish things when I start. Right. If you give me a puzzle and there's a piece missing, I will fucking kill somebody. But I understood the puzzle. I figured it out before you even had to say anything. Yeah, you have like a different kind of spectrum than I do, and it really pisses me off because I feel like yours is more chill. You know what I mean? I feel like yours is more relaxed. The problem is that I understand you well enough to not care when you're saying something stupid. For sure. And then I'm like, because when we were talking, I explained in a short version of what you were going to say to me before you said it. And you were like, that's what I'm trying to say. And then I left. Yes. And I was like, cool, we're done with that conversation. Nah. And then I sent you a picture of something that I thought was hilarious as fuck. And then I started talking. And then immediately you were like, hey man, let me just explain. I'm like, bitch, we're talking about the picture right now. For sure. I get where you're coming from. Okay. Just so you know, it was a picture that said a person's name. It was one of our coworkers. And then it was, he sucks dick. And hilarious. Yeah, hilarious. It was just randomly But it was left the night previous by an employee. Yeah, by another employee. So hilarious. Yeah. And there was a little dick on it. Yeah, there was a little dick on it too. It was great. First and foremost, the coworker, if he had saw that, would not be happy. Our boss, he showed it to our boss. Immediately I showed our boss. Immediately he was pissed. He was like, that's inappropriate. Who did it? And it was like, no, but we don't know. We don't know. Because we ain't snitches like that. No, and if it's not affecting the company, I don't give a fuck. In reality, that guy did nothing crazy. No, and to be honest, that guy is gay. Oh, he is? No, I'm just saying. Oh. He could be. Okay, we're talking about the note. The one who wrote the note? No, before. The one whose name was recommended in the note. That is correct. Gotcha. Allegedly. Okay. So this is kind of a side note before we continue. I swear to God, we're putting that on a t-shirt. Side note. Side note. Yeah, it needs to go on a shirt. And then on the back is the QR code for the Unapologetic Voices. That would be cool. QR codes on shirts work. Yeah, they do. I see them all the time, and I kind of just want to pull out my phone and just be like, there's a lot of Rickroll ones. Hilarious. Yeah. Hilarious. Because I don't want to fully explain, but I was working with a kid, and the kid had one of those shirts. And I looked at him. I was like, "Hey, so what's with that shirt? Is it just like a Rick Roll thing?" And like he looked at me and was like, "How did you know? You didn't even scan it."
Damn it!
I was like, and the first thing that went through my head was, "Because I'm not fucking retarded, kid." And like, that's what. Because like the thing is, for me,
you're getting more aggressive, man.
When it's kids,
for sure,
I treat kids as if they're adults too. It's not the best thing to do, but I don't bullshit with people. I talk with them as if they're my equal. I understand kids are not equals. They need to be taught certain things. They need to be shown that they shouldn't do things like that. But as soon as I'd said that and he told me that shirt was cool, or like that shirt was like its thing, I was like, dog, that is such a badass shirt, dog. Like,
yeah, nice shirt.
Fucking awesome.
Funny
dude.
shirt.
Yeah. Because literally, while we were walking, people were like, oh. You know, and like scanning his shirt.
How cool would that be if it pulled up like Spotify, like dun, dun.
Dude, yeah.
Yeah.
But
awesome.
But nonetheless,
we're no strangers to love.
The real thing that I was trying to talk about, I did go to the movies recently again, right? I went to
sorry, go ahead. It's in my head.
I went to Southgate, or I went to the MJR. Yeah.
Go ahead.
And that's, you know, I met the manager there, and he said all that. I went to go see Inside Out.
Two. Okay.
I'm sure you're planning to watch it.
Nope.
No? You're not planning to watch it?
I have a Disney tattoo on my ass. I have not been interested in Disney in the last, like, 2 years.
Gotcha. So.
Never saw the first one. Is what I'm trying to say.
I am not going to ruin the movie here as much as I would love to fucking ruin that movie for people. But I will say this. The movie is everything that I wanted from that movie franchise.
That's cool.
Right? What I expected is what I got. Because you know how I do that thing where, like, I'll look at a movie and I'll literally guess the entire movie?
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, this is how the movie's going to go. And then I won't be... I'm like, I hope they do it good. Whatever.
Right.
I'm not impressed anymore.
Yeah.
Right?
As soon as I see a trailer, I dissect the whole thing.
I don't watch trailers because of that reason.
Gotcha.
I fucking hate trailers, just so you guys know. I can't watch them.
Some of them do ruin the whole movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are some trailers out there that have nothing to do with the movie. They're just side...
Sometimes those are good.
Those are so fucking good. Like what was it? Like one of... Like a representation was the Wreck-It Ralph one. For Wreck-It Ralph 2. The trailer that they had for the movie showed this little girl just playing on her tablet, and like the internet breaks and like all that bullshit happens. The internet does break in the movie, but that little girl playing the tablet is nowhere in the fucking movie, in the game that she's playing.
Right on.
Like,
but then you get the dope title card at the end.
Well, yeah, because everybody like bitched and complained, saying like, "Is that really not going to be a part of the movie? It needs to be a part of the movie." Blah blah blah. They added it in at the very ending, where like Wreck-It Ralph falls into like that world, and like he like destroys the fucking game, and then the little girl like goes crazy, and that's how it gets destroyed for the little.
You're talking about when she's in the car,
yeah,
and she throws the thing.
Yeah,
hilarious,
and she screams.
Great trailer.
That was the trailer. Yeah,
yeah.
So I love trailers like that. I will not see the trailers until I see the movie. So I didn't know about that bullshit until I saw, the movie afterwards.
I get you.
But long story short, I literally named every single thing that was going to happen in this movie, and I still was not disappointed. The way that they like did what I thought they were going to do made it look like how do I explain it? They showed it better than I thought it was going to be. Mm-hmm. If that made sense.
That makes sense.
The exact storyline that I thought was going to happen happened. Every point that was supposed to happen did happen. And I was like, wow, it's covering everything that I thought, but the way that they did it just looked so fucking good. I wish Dune was like this.
Fuck you. I'm going to jump in real quick.
Okay.
Before I lose my fucking mind.
Yeah.
First of all, kill yourself. Secondly, I know the bird's been very quiet. I've been wondering if the bird's okay this whole time.
It's sleeping.
Oh, your baby.
It chose to sleep on the floor for some reason.
Oh, cute. So, when you were talking about misleading trailers, I had to look up on my phone real quick. I was like, is she fine?
Yeah, she's sitting there.
You keep looking back like there's something happening.
Well, I thought she was going to start climbing up, but she's not.
That would be awesome. We need our mascot, right?
She's just sitting there on the floor. The camera thing moved over a little bit. You could like see like her tail, because she's been like biting on the door, and like the there's like bigger pieces of the cardboard that are on the floor.
Yeah.
So she's like chewing that stuff up.
Gotcha.
She didn't want to get out of her playground.
Yeah.
I gave her enough to play with, so she's just fucking.
What a baby.
Yeah.
So, misleading trailers. I kept thinking in my head, I'm like, there's something in my head that I can't get out of my head right now.
Gotcha.
Like a misleading trailer that's really good. So like Wreck-It Ralph 2.
Yes.
Right? I was like, what is this trailer that's in my head right now that I cannot get out? And it has to do with movies that I've been watching recently because I'm kind of on like a roll. You know, I'm going through like a movie phase specifically. Yeah. Do you remember the 2014 Godzilla movie? Like the one that started off like the new branch of MonsterVerse.
Yeah, the first one.
The first one, technically speaking, where the U.S. soldiers jump out of the sky with the red smoke.
Yes.
That trailer blew my mind. Okay. I'm going to explain it to you because it's really simple. It was like a fucking 20-second trailer. Okay. You're watching TV one day. Trailer comes on. The screen is black and dark. Lightning storms start happening. And it cuts to like a cut screen of someone, like a Tom Cruise movie, like in the jumpsuit. In like a sky jumpsuit, whatever the fuck.
Wearing a helmet or something?
Yeah. And they're diving through the clouds. Breathing heavily. They're looking around. There's other soldiers falling. And then worse. And then they... They hit their ankle smokes and, you know, so they can be seen dropping into the orbit, right?
Yes.
And it's like literally 10 seconds of breathing, heavy breathing, looking around at people skydiving down, like soldiers clearly, but skydiving down, red smoke in the sky, and then it cuts to a back shot of like a stormy, like scenery of, you know, clouds and shit, and the red smoke coming through the clouds. It looks so cool, right? As they come down and you're watching from far away, lightning hits and it's just a shape of something and then it cuts and like I think in Japanese it said something coming 2014 or something like that.
Okay, so
nobody knew what it was.
The sight of like Godzilla.
Pretty much, but it didn't look like Godzilla.
Gotcha.
It looked like just a big shape in
just
the clouds.
Just a different version of a kaiju.
And like a kaiju, and the last shot I think is the guy like breathing. I think it's Aaron Taylor Johnson, the actor. I think he's going and he's like going right next to like the scales or something.
Gotcha.
So nobody knew what it was for like a year, and then a week before the movie came out, they added a little more to the trailer, which showed you it's fucking Godzilla, and then the whole world went crazy. I remember that shit.
Gotcha.
It was in my head. I had to look it up because it was
kind of like how Endgames had different trailers.
Endgame had different trailers?
Yes.
It did?
They had like 3 different trailers, just so that people wouldn't. So like the first trailer came out. Yeah. And they, like, cut out a bunch of stuff. So, like, they showed a lot of the parts of the movie.
Great movie, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
When that came out, the whole world united to be superheroes.
Dude, just to see that shit.
Those movies literally, like, raised the generation. I think, low-key, they raised my generation. Even though I think, Iron Man came out in 2008?
Yeah, Iron Man.
So it didn't raise me, but it was, like, you know...
Well, I was always an Iron Man fan, but I love the Hulk. I feel like...
Really?
Yes.
You're a Dr. Banner fan?
No.
You're a Hulk fan.
I'm a Hulk fan.
I like that you clarified.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
So, I don't like that the Hulk has probably had the shittiest movie setup.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, I feel like his movies were good to a certain degree.
Incredible Hulk was good.
Well, yeah. But it was like, I feel like he came out ahead of his time. Right?
He did.
They didn't have the ability to show a good Hulk.
You're right.
And when they finally did show a good Hulk, they pushed his knowledge too fast.
Yes, and the world wasn't ready to receive the whole thing.
Right.
I'm going to tell you, I really didn't start liking the Incredible Hulk movie. I liked the toys and the action figure because I was young back then.
Right.
I liked the Abomination toy and all that stuff.
Right.
I didn't like those movies until literally like 2010.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, that movie was really good.
Right.
And then,
when you watch it again, you see it.
And the other superhero movies are coming out.
Right.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking
about. Because, like, I'm a big fan of the Hulk.
Yeah.
I've read almost all of their comics. I know they're coming out with new shit and all that. I don't keep up with all of it. But
for sure. It's
I've read all the original stuff. But... I love his story so much. It's just an abused kid who got radioactive, you know? And he pretty much gets pissed and does some shit.
That's a great breakdown.
Yeah, it's essentially his story.
Yeah.
And then, you know, like, all this other shit happens. His dad's still doing experiments and all this bullshit. people are continuing his dad's work, and his ability is that he can absorb more radiation. The more radiation he gets, gamma rays, the stronger he gets. Plus his anger, he gets stronger with anger. The angry he gets, the stronger he gets. That's such a great concept. For end games and all that, I didn't like that they made
Thanos.
No, not Thanos. Like, that was fine. Like, sure, the Hulk can go into his bitch mode where he didn't want to be the Hulk anymore.
Yeah.
Whatever, that's fine.
For sure.
But it's the fact that I'm trying to think of the correct wording, but it's where Bruce and the Hulk become one. Right? Okay. And that's when the brain still has control, but the body is the Hulk.
We'll call him Dr. Hulk.
Sure.
Yeah.
But that's essentially just Banner being the Hulk, right?
Yeah.
That is, like, considered, like, one of the weakest versions of the Hulk. I know I'm wrong, because it's not the weakest version of the Hulk. I know that.
Okay.
So, in case anybody, like, tries to quote me on this bullshit,
yeah,
I know he's not the
Get in the comments.
But it is canonical to know that Banner cannot get any angrier than what he is while he's both. When he is the Hulk doesn't have a limit on his anger. He continuously gets pissed. You hit him in the face, he's about to get stronger 10 seconds from now.
I like that you said it canonically.
Yeah.
It's a good word.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Usually you tell me, shut the fuck up with big words, but thank you.
Hey.
But he is like, you know, he ever growing, right? Mm-hmm. But Banner, he understands and he accepts the fact that, oh, I just got punched in the face. Fuck it, I'm going to do this to whoop your ass because I know I'm strong.
Yeah.
He doesn't get stronger than what he just is strong. And it's proven because there is an evil variant of that, right?
Okay.
He is not stronger than the normal Hulk. So, I'm forgetting what his name is.
You're talking Red Hulk?
No, I think his name's Maestro.
Maestro?
Don't quote me on it, but I think that's what his name is.
I feel like I know who you're talking about, but I feel like Maestro's not that character.
No, it might. I might be wrong.
I'm gonna pull
but there's an evil version of the Hulk who is intelligent, who has Banner's brain essentially. Okay. And I think it's Maestro. I could be wrong. But
yes, you're right. It's Maestro.
It is?
He's got the beard. Yeah. In a different universe, doesn't he kill everybody?
Yes.
Yeah.
In a different universe, he succeeds.
Yeah.
He conquers the land. He fucking does whatever he wants. Mm-hmm. But then he faces the Incredible Hulk. Mm-hmm. And like there's a whole convoluted story. Like the Hulk goes to hell. He fucking fights the devil.
I read this comic.
And like it's gruesome too. Yeah, because like shit just happens.
Very bloody. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think that's where I think Wolverine kills. Because like I think
that's Logan. That's the Logan comics. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, Logan has his own notch in there, for sure.
That's part of the same universe?
I think so.
When it's a barren Earth and there's a Hulk family?
Yeah. And they're like radioactive Hulks. Yeah. Yeah.
I remember.
I think that's
that's like Old Man. I think it's called Old Man Logan.
It is Old Man Logan. It's a branch from that. Right?
I got you.
Because you know how like all of them are webbed together.
Yeah.
Right? I believe that's a branch. I'm not 100% sure. I remember reading Old Man Logan, but I don't think I ever finished it all the way. Okay. Nonetheless, all I know is Hulk becomes... Well, he somehow meets Maestro, fights Maestro, fucking slaughters the fuck out of him. Okay. So like the original Hulk beats the smart version of him, you know? Mm-hmm. And he's like, fuck brains, I got bronze. And during that time, I think it's like the Planet Hulk style. So our Hulk isn't actually fucking stupid. At that point in time, he's starting to think, he's starting to have more thoughts than just anger. But still, he's fucking the Hulk. He gets stronger as he fights as well. If you ever read Planet Hulk, it's a fucking great series.
I think I have.
So Endgame's completely destroys Planet Hulk. And I hate to say that because, what is it? The Thor movie. Okay. I think it was the third one. They literally just, like, skipped all of Planet Hulk's content.
What was that called? Not the Dark World, right?
No, it wasn't Dark World.
Dark World was the second one. And it wasn't Thor Love and Thunder, was it?
It was Thor Love and Thunder.
Really?
I think so.
I think that's Thor 4.
No.
There's something missing.
I'm missing one.
Yeah, there's one missing.
There is one where... Yes, it's when the Valkyrie girl...
The Valkyries.
They first meet the Valkyrie girl.
Yeah, what's that called? That's really good.
That's definitely
Ragnarok.
It's the third one, Ragnarok. I know a lot of people bagged on Ragnarok.
I dug it.
I thought it was good for what it was, right?
For what it was, yeah.
But they destroyed the Hulk story because...
he's there. That's right.
Right. But during that time, Banner and the Hulk actually split. And the Hulk gets sent away because they know if the Hulk stays in this world, he's too dangerous.
Okay.
Right?
And then he goes to planet.
So they get rid of him, send him to a fucking planet.
Yes.
And he becomes a slave on that planet.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, I don't want to be a slave no more. I'm just going to fuck people up. And then he gets electrocuted because he has a slave collar. And he gets he turns into a pet, essentially. And he's like, I'm fucking tired of this. And he's just slowly making moves to get out of being a fucking pet, and then he starts slaughtering everybody.
I feel like I've read this.
And one of the cool things is this is like a desolate planet. Apparently, because of his gamma radiation or whatever, his blood reacts to this world. So if his blood gets spilled anywhere, it becomes a luscious field of grass. Trees will grow.
Nice.
He is the savior of that planet.
For sure.
But he becomes evil, right? He goes there. He fucking takes over that whole planet, and then immediately he's like, "Who the fuck do I hate? I hate Banner. Let's go back over to that place and show them why the fuck they shouldn't have sent me away." Right?
Right.
Goes back, literally whoops everybody's ass and fucks them all up. Mm-hmm. And they have to figure out a way to try to stop him, but he's too fucking powerful. I might be forgetting something specific, but Hulk has always been one of my favorite heroes.
Right on.
Because he's not really a hero.
Yeah. But I'm surprised you like Hulk that much. I don't know why.
Yeah. I like Iron Man. His story's fucking cool, too.
For sure.
I've read a lot of Iron Man stories and all that. I do like that at the end, he didn't have his ultimate suit, but he had a variant of his ultimate suit.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
So the suit that he had was the nanotech. Mm-hmm. Pretty much all those little bots that create his suit.
So cool.
He does... So his final suit is actually a solid silver suit.
Yeah.
And the thing is, he has I think a crown or a gem. And that lets him telepathically control all of whatever that suit is.
Right on.
It's a special, alloy material.
Yeah.
Right? And it lets him manipulate it through his mind. He can create anything he's thinking of.
Yeah.
In this situation, he's programmed his suit to be able to just do it as he wills it.
For sure.
But, his ultimate suit is, he is the ultimate Iron Man.
Yeah.
He does what Iron Man wants.
It's like the Hellbat suit.
Right.
I get you.
It's kind of like Blue Beetle, right?
For sure.
Blue Beetle's
For sure.
armor will literally create anything he needs at that time.
Yeah. I didn't see that movie. Was it good?
So
George Lopez was in it.
So I'll say this: the main character, I love him from Karate Kid.
Okay.
The remake Cobra Kai. I love him from that. Watching him slowly grow older, getting his ass beat, fighting, winning, losing, winning, losing, whatever. Right. So watching him in that kind of gave me a bias towards him.
Okay.
So, in my head, I'm like, he's such a good fucking actor because I watched him punch a kid in the face.
For sure.
Yeah. That unbiased judgment.
It's hard to untypecast somebody.
Right.
Yeah.
So when I saw that he was in that part, I'm like, I'm so fucking happy for him. He's getting a big role now. Maybe he'll be in more shit.
For sure.
He'll be able to carry on.
Yeah.
Because, sometimes people will do, a one-off show, and then they never get fucking found again.
Right.
They're just gone.
Right.
For 10 years, and then they come back older, and they fucking then do something. I'm hoping that doesn't happen to him. I'm hoping he continues to fucking live on, and everybody's heart bullshit, whatever, fuck him. But his part, I feel like he did not do that well.
Okay.
In that position. I do think he did play the part good though.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
It makes sense.
Like they clearly, if they had gotten a better actor, it would have been cooler.
For sure.
But he was perfect for what I felt like it needed to be.
Okay.
You know? Because they just needed a fucking young Mexican kid.
Yeah.
Who could take a few punches.
For sure.
You know? But then some of the shit that was happening was like, well, why the fuck is this? Why is he doing it? Like that? Because he just seemed a little too awkward.
I gotcha.
Like there's awkward.
Like his acting was a little too awkward.
Right. There's awkward, and then there's that weird.
I definitely get you with actors such as Michael Cera and like, who's the guy who's in like American Ultra? He's in the Facebook movie. Jesse Eisenberg.
Yes.
Like that. When I see them in movies.
You're talking about the guy from
Zombieland.
Zombieland, yeah.
When I see
I love him. When he's in the correct movie,
he's great.
He is so fucking
Zombieland
good.
is a perfect role for him.
Yeah, because he gets to be essentially himself.
Right. But when I see him in movies like American Ultra, he plays a sleeper agent.
Yeah, and then when he got to be Lex Luthor.
Okay, it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like, low-key.
But a lot of people didn't like that he was Lex.
No, and at first I was also confused. But then at the end of the movie when he's bald and he gives you that sinister look.
When he's just like, skinhead time, this is my part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, he played the character to his part. You know, he was quirky. He was a quirky Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
Still a genius, still evil.
Yeah.
Not evil, but still.
Well, he got to do his whole little finger shit that he likes to do all the time.
Yeah.
They let him get away with like his little
antics.
Yeah.
Yes. So I agree with you that, you know, when I see somebody in a film, I don't notice at first, but then I'm like, right. You know what I mean? It's hard to see you.
So like, you know, I give, like, depending on the actor, I give it an unjust bias. Depending on who it is.
For sure.
And I don't like doing that because then it's like
it's not
like
fair.
I'll say this. It's like watching the Adam Sandler verse, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go there. A lot of people don't like Adam Sandler. A lot of people love Adam Sandler.
I like Adam Sandler.
Right.
I don't like the movies that much.
But let me explain. There are movies that are 100% beloved.
Sure. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because no matter what, Adam Sandler plays the same fucking character
every time.
In every fucking movie.
Every time.
No matter what.
Uncut Gems is the only thing he's ever been slightly different.
Right. I was going to say that.
Oh,
I was like, he did Uncut Gems.
Yeah.
And that was a whole different take on his fucking character. And everybody loved it.
Yeah.
I thought that movie was boring as fuck.
I agree with you.
I watched it and I was like, wow, this is just really disappointing.
People freaked out because it was Adam Sandler as a dramatic Jew.
I don't know if he was Jew in the movie.
I don't remember if he was Jewish.
So, like, I watched it, but I don't remember if he was.
No, but I remember
there's a good chance
the movie being slightly boring.
Right. It's just...
Everybody freaked out about it.
Everything that was happening to him just felt like it... Like,
he asked for it.
Yeah, it was deserved.
Exactly.
But then when you're looking at him, and you're like, it's Adam Sandler. Like...
Yeah.
Where's his joke? Where's his laugh?
Right.
Where's the comedic... Where he's like, he'll talk to somebody and then, hurry the fuck up! Kind of thing. Like, where he does that stupid yell or makes that stupid voice that he makes. Now, keep in mind, I love that shit because I'm fucking retarded and that shit gets me going. When you make voices and I start making voices, you know? But, I'm saying stupid, but I mean, like, beautiful. So, like, watching him in that serious tone, I'm glad that he did the movie,
and his acting was good.
His acting was amazing.
I could see him.
That wasn't the movie for him.
No, I agree.
I feel like if he was in a different serious movie, that didn't make him seem like such a bad person. Because, like,
I agree.
It's hard to be the bad guy when all you play is the good guy,
the funny guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because, like, in most of his movies, he's the good guy, or he's just like stupid enough to be still the good guy.
Literally.
Like, he's not mean or evil, even when he's like, even when he did, what was that movie where he goes back to school and he's like going through all the grades again?
Billy something?
I don't know. But
I know what you're talking about.
But he pretty much does a bet with his dad. He goes back to school just so that he can take control of the company or whatever.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Like, he's being a dick to all the kids. Yeah. He's being mean to everybody. Like a funny dodgeball he's like an asshole. Oh, you know those dodgeballs were real, like dodge. He was nailing the.
Yeah, wasn't there a kid crying on set and their mom was trying to sue?
Oh, dude, so many of the kids got hurt.
There was like a story about.
Like he told, so like his exact words were, "Hey, fill the balls only halfway," and they were like, "Why?" He's like, "Because I'm going to nail these fucking children." And the kids knew what was happening, right?
Yeah.
That's why when you heard them screaming and like running, they were running
for real, yeah.
Because he was just like, bah! And then I remember, I think one of the stories was they didn't film it, but he nailed a kid first throw straight to the face.
Yeah, I think that's the kid where the mom was pissed and like something.
And they were like, this is a problem, but they signed a contract saying that this kid was going to get hit by a ball. So, tough titties.
Tough titties. Yeah. Sorry.
That shit was funny. I
would love to have been that kid.
Oh, yeah. Dude. Take that fucking hit.
Yeah. Could you imagine if he popped my eye out? I'd be rich.
Doug. There's only so much the contract can handle, right?
Yeah.
But nonetheless, like, Adam Sandler plays, like, the jerky dick character that's lovable really well.
Yes.
And, like, even in, like, all his other movies that he's in, he does that well. I don't remember what we were talking about before this.
Inside Out 2.
Right. I don't know.
We went on a side note.
We went on way too many.
A second book.
Yeah, dog. So, that was a whole story.
Inside Out 2, you were saying that it wasn't what you were expecting. It was what you were expecting.
Yeah, it met all my expectations. Right. So, like, I'll explain this. The new characters. This isn't a spoiler. This is something you...
It's in the trailer.
It's in the trailer, literally.
Yeah.
The new emotions is anxiety, embarrassment, fuck, what was it was like d'ennui or some stupid shit.
I know anxiety.
It's called boredom, but they used a French version of boredom. I don't fucking know. I don't know. And then they used, it was jealousy.
Okay.
Those are the 4 new ones. And the basis of the movie is... the 4 new ones don't want the old ones to mess up her teenage years.
Makes sense.
So anxiety explains to fear, hey, I'm just like you. The difference between me and you is you fear for the moment. I fear for the future. And then
That's deep.
Right. And I was like, damn, that is such a good way to explain that you two are the same character, but you do different things. In the like easiest way for a little kid to understand, right?
For sure, yeah, for sure.
And I was like, that's a great part. And then immediately they fucking band together and just start beating the shit out of the new one or the old ones, and they throw them in a fucking jar and they throw them out. Damn. And they were like, and that's why we can't have you guys here because blah 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 blah. And she starts creating. So, first and foremost, at the very start, you can tell that the 4 original emotions are fucking Riley up.
Okay. Is that a spoiler?
Yes.
All right.
But you can... it's not a spoiler if you're watching. Because the way that they do it, they look like they're in unison, working together really well.
Okay.
Right? The whole point of this movie is for Riley to find herself.
Sure.
Who she wants to be going forward from here.
Yeah.
Right? It's how everybody does it, right? But her four originals made her a good person. That's the basic way of saying it. I'm not going to explain how or why or whatever the fuck. You'll see it on your own. But they make her a good person. Nonetheless. And then as soon as the new 4 come, they trash the old emotions and they create their own version of Riley themselves.
Okay.
They do the exact same thing the first 4 did.
You're like your goth mode.
Right.
Like your goth ages.
Yeah.
You know.
But more a little angsty and shit because she was kind of awkward.
Teen angst mood.
Right.
Yeah. I was trying to say phase. That's the word I'm looking for.
Right. That was essentially.
I gotcha.
But the way that they played it out, you can see, the first group ruined her. Right? They gave her a false sense of self.
Okay.
Right?
False expectations for life.
Right.
Got it.
And then the new version, they were just so fucking like. So when that bitch said, "I plan for future," because she's anxiety. She plans for all the bad. She essentially makes Riley not understand anything good anymore because joy is gone, right? So all she has is, I'm seeing all this bad shit, and all the other ones are showing bad shit. So, you know, they slowly start creating a self for her, who she wants to be, her high school years.
Gotcha.
Now, how everything plays out, I think it was extremely beautiful, amazing how they had it set up. I'm not going to go into the full details for it, because if someone wants to watch the movie, I don't want to be the guy who just said, hey, fuck you, I ruined it for you. But just know, Riley is a fucked up character who needs...
therapy.
We all do.
Yeah.
But yeah, essentially she just needs some form of help, but she is not getting it. Like, I will ruin this part though.
Okay.
There is a part in her dad's, like, so, there's a part where she, like, essentially, like, she's PMSing.
Okay. She,
like, wakes up and she starts cussing everybody out. Like, she's pissed as fuck. As soon as she woke up, right? And mom's like, hey, it's time to go. Are you ready yet? Blah, blah, blah. She just wakes up. And she's like, no, I didn't fucking leave. I didn't do anything yet. Blah, 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 blah. And then she starts crying. And then she's like, I don't know what's wrong with me. There was the 4 main characters fucking up, right? And the mom, in her head, she's like, oh, fuck, it's beginning, right? Yeah. Like, and all of them are talking. They're like, what are we going to do? This is what we're going to have to deal with. Blah, blah, blah. And then she goes to the dinner table, right? And the dad is just sitting there, like, you know, cutting his food, taking a bite of his breakfast. And then he's like, oh, hey, Riley, blah, blah, blah. And then, like, she immediately goes off on him. Unwarranted, right?
Right on.
She just goes off on him. And in his head, all you see is, like, all these alarms going off. And they're like, holy fuck, this is what we have to deal with. Blah, 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 blah. And then they were like, who gives a fuck? Yeah, like, they just stop. Like, the alarm's going off, yeah. And then all of them just pause, pull out a hammer, bah! They stop the alarm, and they're just like, who cares? And then the dad's just like you see the dread on his face. He's like,
hey, a man's life
yeah,
can sometimes be simple.
That was like, as soon as I saw that, I was like, you know, that is exactly what I would do.
When the men have
like,
no attachments.
I just been like, whatever.
They
like,
cannot be controlled.
You could be upset. You're not ruining my day.
Hey, I'm enjoying my breakfast.
Dude, just because I said that, I'm remembering this one time. I think I was singing I'm Walking on Sunshine.
What the fuck are you talking about right now?
I'm going into a side note.
Okay.
Let me fester.
After this, I want to hear the story about John and McDonald's.
Sure, but I think you should say maybe your own story, because I've been talking way too much.
All right.
Okay, and then we'll go on.
That's fair.
Yeah. But,
I don't know what to talk about.
I don't give a fuck.
Okay, go ahead.
Talk about whatever. But what ended up happening was me and Courtney, I don't know what the fuck was wrong with Courtney. She was hella pissed about something, right? I had no idea she was pissed. I think I just came back from work, and, like, I'm singing, like, I'm walking on sunshine, whoa, blah, 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 right? And I'm just singing it, and I come through the door, and all I see is her, like, right at the door, turns around. She's like, what the fuck are you, blah, 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 blah. And she just starts yelling. I don't remember what it was about.
It's like the movie.
But I'm walking into the house, and she's just yelling at me. I'm putting my keys down. I'm taking off my lanyard, and, like, I look at her, she's just yelling at me, I'm listening, and then as soon as she stopped talking, I was just like, walking on sunshine.
Oh my god.
And I walked away.
That's so fucked.
And, you know, she, like...
She probably would have threw a chair at you.
She started laughing.
Oh, okay.
And she was like, because she wasn't yelling at me, she was just yelling out loud, gotcha. Right? Yeah. And she was like...
venting.
Yeah, yeah. And she just immediately was like, that's funny. Not that I didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
that I didn't let her ruin the song for me.
I gotcha.
You know? Because, like, she cared that I didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
But she also thought it was funny that I had to finish the song.
Oh yeah.
You know,
gotta get it out.
I didn't care.
You saw me with Rickroll?
Yeah.
Keep going.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's, side note.
That's funny.
But go ahead and say whatever. That grinds her gears when I just don't care. I do whatever. So just so you know, we're still on context.
We're still in context.
Yeah.
All right. Apologetic Voices. We're going to be calling it here. We're ending the show on a little cliffhanger because it was getting a little too long. But I have good news. We just set up our YouTube channel. So now we're going to be having all of our podcasts on there alongside with how we have it already. But we're also going to be releasing videos of us, doing our conversations, hanging out with the bird, doing whatever little side things that we do. As well, we set up our email, so in case anybody wants to talk to us, get back to us, that is Unapologetic Voices 1@gmail.com. And, that gives you guys the chance to shoot us some questions that you've been curious about, or just, to have a conversation. Because, we love the fans. We love who we've been able to talk to so far and, how they've reached out to us. But we've just made it a little bit easier for people. But other than that, we're about to end the show here. Hope you guys enjoyed any of it. Leave a like, leave a follow, share with some friends, and stay unapologetic.